Hello, Steeler Nation. Welcome to Stryker's Inside Slant. Obviously, we just watched the first loss of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're here to talk about it. Let's get the let out. Tell me what you're upset about. Tell me what you liked. I'll tell you what I liked. There's some aspects of this game that I absolutely loved, and there's absolutely some aspects of this game that I absolutely hated. And I will point to the instance when the referees screwed up and we lost the game. So, your show, obviously, I'm pulling up the stats right now. It's been a big day. Comments are right, obviously. Cannon! Whoa. F. Zach Frazier. He can't keep doing that. Derps! I blame the Pirates for the loss today. Great call, Derps. Thank you for taking it existentially outside of the Steelers' frame of existence. Miles! The bad snaps need to stop, Stryker. Absolutely agree, Miles, but that's not why we lost. I'll get to it. Me! Fields was amazing. Fields did an excellent job after that fumble, which I did not think was a fumble. I'm not saying this is the location where we lost the ball. I thought he did fumble it initially, but I thought he picked it up back and had possession with it against his chest and his elbow on the ground when the guy came in and his knee hit it back out. I thought that was the correct rule on that play. It was not. We lost the football. We lost the game. One of the aspects, but I've got one even bigger than that. And I'll get to it shortly. I'm going to go through you guys first. Jay Pato, a few bad calls against us. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was not a personal foul by Minkah Fitzpatrick, but that's not the call or the missed call that I'm getting to. And I will get to it. Maybe one of you guys might figure it out first. Monkey! F. Zach Frazier. I'm not going to F that. He's a rookie, guys. Come on, man. Frazier is a rookie. What do you expect, Miles? Dude. He's going to get it. He's been fine. Z, that first pass from Richardson, I knew we lost. It sucked. It sucked, Z, and I agree with you. Tim Burrow, my friend, how are you doing? Hi, Stryker. I often don't feel good about regular season wins, but I don't see anything in the Steelers that could win in the playoffs. But I liked what I saw with the comeback in the second half. I did too. To me, I mean, you and I may disagree about possibility of winning in the playoffs. Now, obviously, one seed might be out of it because you have to be the one seed in the AFC to get the bye for the first week in the automatic win to advance the divisional round. I think with this loss today, we're probably not going to get that one seed unless that win on Christmas Day becomes the win that projects us into that second round. But you know, it's a tough situation. We'll talk a little bit more. I know you're going to have a lot to say, my friend, because you always do. Miles, it's one more every game, but they should be automatic. Should be. We didn't miss any kicks. They missed the kick. They kept us in the game. River Boyd, refs screwed Steelers today. Bad calls. We win if not for them. There was one specifically. I'm waiting. I'm going to let you guys get the let out first and see if you guys can figure it out before I tell you. Fields did good with adversity. I agree with you exactly, Swayza. Exactly. And thank you for coming over from – is that an X? I didn't think we got X comments. X comments in the house. Thank you so much, X, for being here too. I thought we only got our comments from Facebook and YouTube, though we are also on the Steeler Nation X site right now. And I'm glad you got in here. So, yes, we do get X comments now. Great to see. Miles, defense let us down hard today, along with some bad play calls. Yeah, we should have held some of those touchdowns to field goals and we would have won this game easily. Miles, too many missed tackles and dropped picks. Yes, we did drop 2 picks that could have changed this game significantly. Jay, missing Highsmith is huge for us. I disagree. I think Nate did just fine as well and had a good sack at the end of the game that still kept us in situation to get that ball back with over 3 minutes to go in the game. And a chance to win with a touchdown. We should have had a chance to win that game. We honestly should have. But getting a sack early sucked. Miles, rest didn't give us any calls today. They were legit. I hear you. Derps, defense was not number 1 today. And I agree with that, Derps. I do. River Boyd, Hold on, TJ Watt. All day was crazy. Yes, they did. I saw that a lot, but that's still not the call I'm talking about yet. Still not. My call is very simple. I'm waiting for you guys to pick it up before I say it. JP, Najee has to know better, bro. Yes, he did. And I screamed at him. He should have gone out of bounds forwards instead of out of bounds backwards, because as soon as he went out of bounds backwards, I'm like, clock's running. But it wasn't the reason why we lost. We could have called a timeout. We still had this for the full 40 seconds to run that play, to get something, to get a chance to get that first down. We just didn't. And that's where we lost the game. Monkey, this was not the game I thought the defense should be letting us down. And I agree with you 100%, especially since we knocked out starting quarterback, and then we knocked out the starting running back. The defense did lose this game. The offense didn't get enough time to come back and win it for us. That happened today. That was a three-phase loss. And it's rare for the Steelers to have a three-phase loss. Today was the day. So we did our damnedest with Fields scoring on his last 3 attempts. I thought he was actually going to punch it in on that last one to give us a last-second win. He did not. But it does hurt to lose in that way, Monkey, and I agree. Derps, we were due for a stinker. Not a stinker. They are football games. They're called games for a reason, Derpy. A lot of things can even out how games are played. And I was telling people, even Colin Coward said this is a 0.0% chance of the Steelers losing this game. I said Steelers could definitely lose this game over at SteelerNation.com on the football forum, because turnovers are the biggest equalizer in football. Turnovers and injuries. We lost Patterson. Patterson was running like a monster. And we lost a turnover ratio -2. I thought we were going to get 1. I thought their center, which was a rookie center, was going to put the ball on the ground. Our center put the ball on the ground. These were the aspects of the game that ended up were the reasons why we lost them. And our center snapped the ball before our quarterback was ready, and that's on Zach. And we understand why we're upset at Zach about that, but, it's the way it went. And we'll move forward. Jeffrey Hurst comes down to coaching. Players are making silly mistakes. Well, it's a game, Jeffrey. Our coaches can only do so much. I thought our coaches got us in a good position in the second half to have a chance to win the game, and we didn't. I'm not going to throw this entirely on the coach's lap, but they're a factor, and they would take it as well. So thank you so much for your comment, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Wes Mason, same poop, different year. Nah, I'm sorry. This team feels a little bit different than a Zach Duck, Rudolph, Trubisky, Kenny Pickett offense. It feels different. It feels different to me. It feels like they're just starting to get it. We had some good things. We got 3 touchdowns in a row. I'm not killing this team yet. But Zach Duck, Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Trubisky are not scoring 3 touchdowns in a row. And they never did for us. They never did. Fields did. So that's something different for us. Jay, no Highsmith is huge. TJ gets doubled all the time. But Nate Herbig on the other side did get a sack. He did. Tremburro, love these long, dodgy runs where he refused to be tackled and instead was knocking down Colts. And that's the sort of thing the Steelers could be. Sorry, they didn't offer him a deal in the offseason. I understand that too. That's an interesting point, and I do appreciate that. That was not a personal foul on Minka. Absolutely agree. Absolutely was not. Turned his body completely. It was a shoulder hit. Absolutely was not. I am on X. Thank you, Jay. I know that's Jay. We have not gotten to X comments until you. So thank you so much, Jay, for letting us know we get X comments now. Appreciate you. JP on the X. We beat ourselves today. Yeah, refs didn't help, but not the main reason we lost. And I can agree with that perspective as well. But I do have one play that we're not talking about yet. Stryker, I already know you're going to talk about the 5th-year option, but I'm happy they didn't give that. I'm talking about giving him a long-term deal for a little less money than a 5th-year option. But still, the 5th-year option is like a franchise tag. It puts that player in your bullpen, and they can't leave your bullpen until you renegotiate another contract. That's why I wanted the 5th-year option. Would have been around like 23 mil a year, I think, for the 5th-year option, which is still fairly cheap for a starting first-string quarterback. We would have made that easily with 5 mil left over, with the money we have left over right now in our salary cap with the rollover. So I would have been absolutely fine with the 5th-year option. But still, we can still renegotiate a contract moving forward if Fields is our guy. We still have a lot of games to figure out if he's our guy or not yet. But he did a good job of coming back after that fumble. Devin Matthews, run them till they puke and run them some more. And I agree with that completely. And this should have been a game we ran all over them. My problem was they were putting 9 in the box and sprinting everybody at the line of scrimmage at the snap. That is a situation where you got to move the pocket, and that's on the offensive coordinator. I was yelling at him to get him out to a bootleg. If we got Fields out to a bootleg on a couple of those plays where they were all coming up the middle, we would have had some big plays in this game. Absolutely huge plays in this game. That did not happen. I'm waiting for it. Gavin on the X. Joe Flacco apparently has our number. Unibrow does not have our number, but he is the reason why they won the game, and the reason why the penalty that wasn't called was because of Joe Flacco. Let's see if you guys can figure that out. Bad call on Minka. Yeah, we know that one. That's not the reason why we lost. Gavin, how did you let them eat like that on 3rd downs? Well, the referees extended some plays. They missed one of the calls. I have the call. You guys might have seen it, might not have seen it. I've seen it. I'm waiting for you guys to say it. Rick Giddings, how you doing, Rick? Good to see you, my friend. Make a call was really bad, but Fields balled out in the second half, comes down with that Pickens fumble. Yeah, that Pickens fumble was atrocious. Tim Burrow, obviously you see the voice to text type out. Yeah, you know me. I got you, my friend. I got you, my friend. I love you, Tim Burrow. You know that. Ronnie Hunter. Hey, my first time catching you this year. Ronnie! Welcome to the show, Ronnie. Please tell your friends. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when I'm on normally. And we got a fun show, and I say shit that people don't normally say. So this is a good show to catch. Strikers Inside Slant. Tell your friends. Follow me. I'll take this off for a second. At SN Stryker on the X, on the IGs, but mostly on the Tickety Talks, because that's what I'm trying to boost up so we can do some shows live on the Tickety Talks. Ronnie Hunter. Hey. Oh, no, we saw that. Miles. This is Justin's best game yet. That second half was an elite performance by him. He is our number one quarterback, just needs the support. I honestly was saying 3.5 minutes. I thought we had 2 timeouts. I'm like, you got everything you need. You come back, you win this game. You are our number one quarterback. We lost the game. So to me, Miles, there's still some question marks in the air. There's still some question marks in the air. Could Russell Wilson have gotten us the win? Jay, the no call on pass interference in the 4th quarter, I forgot who it was on. It was on Fitzpatrick. We've been talking about that, but that's not the reason why we won. Bomb on the X. Another Tomlin coach team completely unprepared and making stupid mistakes. Well, we can talk about it. The reason why Tomlin has more wins than all but 2 other quarterbacks in the NFL history, and I'm talking about wins per season. There's only 2 other coaches in NFL history that have more wins per season than Mike Tomlin. One of them is Belichick. I remember that Shula was even under 10 wins a season. Oh, Reed is the only other quarterback. It's Reed, Shula, and Tomlin right now are the only 3 coaches ever in NFL history above 10 wins a season. You can kill them all you want. I know my coach is good about scoring under 2 minutes. We got a field goal at the end of the first half. Helped us to get in a situation where we could have double scored, but we didn't. He was the one that salted the game with 5 minutes left to go in the game last week with the offense on the field. There's a reason why he wins so many games. He's very good at 2 minutes before the half and 2 minutes at the end of the game. We lost because of execution this time. You know, if we want to put some of that on Tomlin, that's fine too. But Tomlin is not the reason why Fields fumbled the ball. Tomlin is not the real reason why freaking why Pickens fumbled the ball inside the 8-yard line with a first down. Probably would have been gifted the 6-yard line at that point. That's not on Tomlin. That's execution. This is a game. We got to realize what is Tomlin's fault, what is players' faults. This one, the players had a chance to win games. We had more turnovers than they did, as I've been saying all year. The only way these games are going to be close is if they have way more than we do. They had 2 more than we did. We never got that extra one. If we knocked down that one when Elliott came and it hit Richardson in the middle of the field, when we hurt Richardson the first time and the ball came out, if we landed on that football, that's 7 points off the board, and we win this game. That's how close football games are, guys. But I have another play in mind that you guys haven't talked about yet. Ronnie Hunter, our defense let us down. We gave up too many 3rd and longs. We did. Tim Burrow. Finally, Justin didn't wuss out with the runs today, and was good to see him using his feet a bit. And I agree with that. I did love that as well. Nick, it's time for Russell Wilson. I've had enough of Justin Fields' experiment this year. Russell Wilson still hasn't practiced fully the entire season. There's a reason why Russell Wilson is our 3rd emergency quarterback. It's because he hasn't practiced fully yet this season. We're waiting for it. Miles, I don't like our line coach. It seems like he doesn't have them ready to play in the first half. Look, we have a lot of injuries on the line, and Daniels went down today. The only healthy people on this line that were starters last year are 2 tackles. Jones, Moore. Everybody in the middle, new guys. We got rookies in the middle of the field. Spencer's been there too. Rookies in the middle. It's tough to win that way, but I think those guys are still fairly good. They were good draft picks. Ronnie, Justin played like an MVP. He did play. One more drive. I'm going to pull back the MVP thing. One more drive, and he got us down the field and got that last touchdown. I would agree with you completely. But I thought he played fantastically today with what he's been given. Miles, we are bound to have this time of game, but at least we saw our offense be a force to reckon with in the second half. Absolutely. And their offense did not score in the second half much. They had 1 touchdown. That was it. Feels way maybe at 10 points. Feels way different. You're right, Ronnie. It does. Bum! After being paid millions to make these stupid mistakes, players and coaches. I don't know who you're talking about there. Please let me know. Gavin! This team is different, guys. I really love that we live and die with every game, but I hate it too because there are so many bright spots in today's game. Last year, we would have been done after it was 17-0. We're Steeler fans, Gavin. I agree with you. We always think we're going to the field. They had 4th and an inch and got the shotgun. I agree with that too, Bum. That was a dumb play call by the offense coordinator. You have one of the most elite feet in the league, and you don't put him on the line of scrimmage to take it and try to get that first down. And he also picked the wrong hole. If he went right instead of left, if we went right, we got that first down. He went left, we did not. Right was open, left was not. And that was off of Zachary Taylor's butt because we saw it on the replay. Risto, we need a new head coach. I don't agree with you at all. I don't. Tim Burrow, ever since former linebacker Bill Cowher and Bill Cowher's coaches and Bill Cowher's players left Tomlin's staff for the last decade and a half, Steelers lack basic one-on-one tackling abilities. It's embarrassing. And I will also extend this to the league, Robert, because the league has limited how many fully padded practices you can have in the preseason and fully padded practices you can have in the regular season. That's on the NFLPA. The NFLPA has made it so we cannot be as aggressive in pads and practice that we can be in the games. And now we're getting called crap in games like that crap with Fitzpatrick. That's an aggressive play. He's going to knock that ball out if that guy catches it, and he still ducked his head so he wasn't popping him head to head. That was shoulder to shoulder. Should not have been a call. Not the call that I'm still reaching for yet. I'll get to it. Corey, possibly win this game if not for the fumble on Pickens. Swings the game. That was a 7-point swing. You're right. That's a 7-point swing. Yeah, absolutely. Bum, They were walking and running out the play clock toward the end of the game. They were. Miles, the Pickens fumble was really disappointing. It was. It hurt. And that's Miles, that's the reason too why I don't have Pickens in the chase category yet of playmakers that make the plays to win you games. Right now, he is a tier lower. Crap. I'm missing the Steeler player. I was trying to stretch it out so I can remember his name. Oh, fudge. Had the pit bull and stuff. We know him. But he's in that tier. He's lower tier. Not winning us games, losing us games. He hangs on to that ball. We win this game. That's how close this game was. He hangs on to that ball. We win this game, and we close it out on offense. But that's not the play I'm looking for yet. Logan, I'm not even mad where we are at it as a team. Every team has flaws. We are already doing insanely better than anyone could have imagined or predicted. Exactly. Everybody predicted us to be basement dwellers in this division, Logan. And we got to root against some teams and see where we end up. Raymond, tough loss, y'all. Too many mistakes to overcome. Justin balled in the second half. Stay tuned. And I agree. Miles, and Justin's fumble wasn't a fumble. The rest thought it was, and I agree with you, Miles. I thought he recovered it. Got back on the ground with an elbow on the ground and up against his chest, and then the knee cocked it out to make it a fumble, which you cannot lose the fumble when you're down. That was a down play, and I agree with you, Miles, but it's not the play I'm looking for. List goes on and on, bum. I hear you. Darnell shouldn't be able to hurdle a man like that. No, he should not. Stupid poop, poorly, nothing. Coach, nothing new, bum. We lost. We lost on the turnover ratio. If you want to put that in the coach, it's fine. I thought we should have done better in execution at the end of the game. We didn't. We lost. Gavin, it's intention. You got it. Gavin figured it out. It's the intentional grounding call. Not the first one that they called back. It was the second play. He was clearly in the pocket, clearly in the grasp of Hayward. Threw the ball out of bounds to no one. That play should have been called intentional grounding. And it would have put in a situation where it was 3rd and 18, not 3rd and freaking 10. There's no way Flacco is completing that ball at 3rd and 18. No way. They gifted him the first down on that play, Gavin. You win the internet today. You win Steeler Nation. I'm glad X is showing up today. Thank you, Gavin. Smart. It is intentional grounding. It was the second one, not the first one that got called back. And I agree. First one could have been arbitrary. I agree with that. But the second one, though arbitrary, I was yelling like, no way a 39-year-old quarterback is getting outside of the tackle box, and he didn't. He was on the tackle box. Second time was definitely in the tackle box. To no one. And it wasn't called. Our run game needs to get going. It does, but it sucks when they have 9 guys in the box. We should have been doing bootlegs, getting out on the edge, throwing downfield. That's what beats that crap. Sean, holding call from Jones on Pickens. On Jones on Pickens. The holding call wasn't on Jones, though. It was on the next guy in. But it wasn't the reason why we lost. We got to it, but I'm glad you're into it too, Sean. Thanks for that too. And are you talking about the hold on Watt on the touchdown? They're playing. Watt gets hold every fucking play. Every play. Najee couldn't outrun a turtle. I disagree. Najee, yeah, you said that. Okay. Robert, my Steelers group friend texted me. Jasper tells me it's only because of Steelers players' injuries and lack of execution and zero responsibility for the coach that they're not tackling good. No, missed tackles happen. Taylor's an elite back. Elite. He's the best back in the NFL right now. He got 80-some yards, 100 yards total out of us today. It's because he's an elite back. Still enough, we should have beat this guy. And we knocked him out of the game. We got a great defense. And it's going to come back, and we're going to win games we shouldn't win. Bonnie, that early snap screwed us. It did. The one on the ground screwed us. Absolutely. Fields is an airhead. Dawn! We fought back. We kept waiting for defense to live up to the hype, Justin's runs would not have been. Yeah, defense should have played better today. Defense lost the game today, and I agree with you on that, Dawn. And they'll agree to that too, especially since we let too many touchdowns happen instead of field goals. Because those have been field goals in earlier games. There were touchdowns today. Offense doesn't show up until halftime. Pickens acting like a damn fool. Pickens should be better than that. I want him to be elite. He's not. He's second tier. Sean, Pickens and Fields fumbles blew the game. Absolutely agree. This is a game. It's a game. Execution, turnovers are a big part of it. When you're -2, it's a big reason why we were lost. Also, a big reason why we lost, I will talk about this in the more like coaching realm. They were throwing guys at the box, 8 to 9 to 10 in the box. If they're doing that crap, don't freaking hand off to Najee. Play action and boot every time. Got to do that because they had guys in our backfield for the entire first half. There were guys in our backfield because they're run blitzing us until Fields started throwing downfield, and then they started pulling back a bit because they couldn't run blitzing. Oh, you can throw. Should have done it earlier. Should have done it earlier, and that is also a reason why we lost 2 shots. The play calls for Russ. I hear you, Don. Sean, and the coaches have more than 1 ring, and those coaches have more than 1 ring. Which coaches? Tell me. Bum. We traded playoff wins and Super Bowls for mediocre seasons. You can say that. It's very difficult to get past elite teams. And I'm not going to throw you a piece of reality that's going to punch you in the face, Bum, because you're probably too young to realize this. There were some teams back in the 70s, most notably the Raiders, which were consistently the best team in the league for the 70s decade. And it took a game in the AFC Championship for us to lose both of our starting running backs when we were running team. We lost Franco and we lost Rocky in that game. And they found a way to squeak it out and win it. And that was the only Super Bowl win that Madden has. Not the 4 that Noel has. The only Super Bowl win that Madden has was because we lost both of our starting running backs in the AFC Championship game. And we were a running team. And that was the year also where Bradshaw was hurt, but he was back for the playoffs. We had the one quarterback won 6 games that started with letter K. It's the way it works sometimes, but you got to remember, this is the era. Brady is elite. Difficult guy to knock out in the playoffs. Mahomes is elite. Difficult guy to knock out in the playoffs. We got to find ways to knock out those guys in the playoffs to win Super Bowls. Right now, the guys we have to worry about in the playoffs, Mahomes and Allen. Those are the guys. I think we can beat Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. I do. I honestly think we do because we're built to beat the Ravens. Guys, follow me at Steeler Nation Stryker, at SN Stryker on your platforms. But that's the reason why you don't win Super Bowls. Not because of the coaching. We have elite teams in our conference. Oriel, welcome to the show. Good to see you. We need Jesus next game. I'm with you there. BS. Sean, regular season champs. We're over at SteelerNation.com. We started naming these Tomlinships. A season where you don't lose is called a Tomlinship. I think it's funny as F. I think it's, I got to call a spade a spade. A Tomlinship is funny. If you want to complain about Tomlinships, that's on you. It's a reason why he's an elite coach and he knows how to win games. This one came down to turnover ratio, not Tomlin. Eric Rolfe, freaking Flacco. I know, we all hate him. Chow, chow, dad! Losing another offensive lineman really hurt us. It did. Especially since Daniels was the best player on our offensive line this season before he went out. That hurt us a ton. Bum! Tomlin, best mediocre coach ever. You can agree with that. I can disagree with that. Execution. Definitely Ronnie. Lorian, what the heck was that fumbled snap on the 4th? I agree. Bad snap. Bad snap, and it hurts. Absolutely hurts in the 4th quarter. Nothing positive, Timmy. I appreciate that, Timmy, and thank you for being on the show. Let me know if you have anything else to talk about. Game of inches. Absolutely is, Ronnie. Head coach's responsibility is to make sure the players execute. Mr. Tomlin has the highest paid, most talented D players in the NFL. History last 3 years. Good school coach. Could teach better tackling than Coach T. Okay, grade school coach. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, it's the way it happened today. It did. It sucked. We got some missed calls as well, but it's the way it worked out. Jonathan, why can't the offense scheme more plays for George Pickens so he's engaged in the game from the start? I fear George Pickens loses focus if he's not involved from the jump. Also, what's the point of deferring to the kickoff if you go 3 and out? Okay, I hear that. I am a strategist. If you win the coin toss, it is always take possession in the second half. Always, Jonathan. The reason is if you can get the ball at the end of the first half like we did, and we scored a field goal at the end of the first half like we did, we had a chance to score a touchdown on the next play to get it within 7 points. That's why you do it. It's a watch the Patriots. Watch Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick never did anything other than defer on the coin toss, and that's the way it should always be in the first half. Because if they do something dumb like choose side, you get the ball twice to start. And high school coaches do that a lot. Gavin, please shut up about Russell Wilson. JF2 did not lose the game for us. Okay, and I see that too. I'm not going to throw this at Joey Porter's or Justin Fields' feet, but would have wanted that execution a little better. Yoder, and a couple of penalties that weren't penalties. Yeah, definitely weren't. Gavin, it's the only wide receiver defense have to worry about hard scheme and when that's the case. But we still had the ball with a chance to win at the end, guys. We did. Because of the implication. Fields was down by his forearm that fumble. And I agree. I thought he retained possession, had the forearm on the ground before it was knocked out again. I thought that was a wrong call and a factor, but not the biggest one, which we did figure out, which is the one where they did not call intentional grounding when Hayward's all over him in the middle of the field and he throws it out of bounds. How is that not intentional grounding when the play before they said wasn't intentional grounding because he ran out of the tackle box? He threw the ball away 2 plays in a row because we got in his face both of those plays. And that's what the defense is supposed to do. Rum, we trade playoff wins and Super Bowls for mediocre seasons. You say that. Your job with your coach is to get you to the playoffs. That's the job of the coach. And Mike Tomlin has never been eliminated before the last week of the season in any year he's ever coached. So take that to account. Richard, he is the best. I don't know who he is, Richard. Let me know. Robert, Coach C seems to be confused, allowing his players to do more than their poor tackling practice. 101. I hear you. Still racking on the same point. Let's talk about some other stuff. When the offense scored at the start of the half, I don't know what 3 and out. Okay, yeah, I hear you. Jason Carlos Roberts, what is going on with the botch snaps in every game? This time it costs us. Also, wake up, Naj. I like how we battled back, but D looked asleep most of the game. Those are all fair points, Jason. Thanks for being on the show. Cha-cha-da. Hey, Stryker, do you know that I'm half full guy, but these quarterback center exchanges are killing me? That is the only center that is on Justin, and he has no idea it's coming, and the center is getting triggered early. I agree. They have to be better. They have to. It's been 3 games in a row that's hit him. Snaps have come too quick, and he wasn't ready for him. I completely agree. We stunk up the first half, but fought back. Justin lost his poop for a while, but fought back. Even though it was not great, there are some things to build on, and I agree with that, Chow. I absolutely do. David Batts, welcome to the show, my friend. I know we lost, but I'm not so quick to go into panic mode. Defense is going to have for the game like this once in a while. Rather, we like it, don't like it. I'm more impressed with Justin Fields. I think he is our quarterback 1. I really think it's time to take the handcuffs off of him and let him run his offense. I can't disagree with that. I like that too. That's a good point. Thank you so much, David. Robert, any real Steel fan would tell you, including those who were here fans, they never they ever won a playoff game, only season that matters is postseason. So if you like talking regular season record, you're full of BS. You can, but that's how coaches are marked. And I know Tomlin will get another Super Bowl if we hang on to him long enough. No, because look at Andy Reid now. Look how good Andy Reid now is. And the Eagles got rid of him with how good of a winner he was. Just imagine Coach Tomlin here in a couple years. No excuse for walking towards end of game. For the walking towards end of game. I don't know what for the walking towards end of game. I don't know what you're trying to say, Please try to re-say that. Derek, I remember you, Derek. Good to see you. Still 3-1. We're still leading our division. And now we know we have our quarterback. I did like what we saw out of Fields. I got to check out the Cincinnati game, but that's not the one that matters to us. It's the Cleveland game and the Ravens game, which both of them have difficult matchups. I'm going to check out the Cleveland score now just to see how they finish up. I know they were playing the old Cincinnati score, the old redhead, the old ginger, but I'm pretty sure they beat the old ginger. We'll see where they're at. Cincinnati won 34-24. Didn't matter. They were a 0-win team. They're still 2 games behind us. Now it comes down to the Ravens and the Browns. So Browns right now, they're playing the Raiders in LA. They're up 7-0. But if they lose, they're still 2 games behind us. Ravens are playing Buffalo. For the life of me, I don't know how Ravens are favored. I don't. With how well Allen is playing this year, Allen's possessed. I don't see Allen losing this game. If he can find a way to win the game, it's going to be a tough situation. And then Cleveland loses. We're still up 2 games on everybody. It becomes a wash for this week. Patrick, we're 100% found our future quarterback. I'm glad for that, Patrick. I'm glad you like Fields. Ronnie Hunter, the early snap. Yeah, that killed us, Ronnie. You're right. Ralph, we have to put in the air more. When did we get downfield? Not everyone needs to be in long downfield, but when we did, it was working. And I agree with that too, Ralph. We should have done a little bit earlier. We should have gotten on the edge with boots and thrown the ball downfield. We are the Steelers, not the Bungles, not the Brownies. We traded playoff wins and Super Bowls so Tomlin can have mediocre seasons. Tomlinships. That's what you're saying, but he puts us in position to get to the playoffs. And that's what a good coach should do. Corey Frank, we are finally starting to take more shots to Darnell Washington. Get him the damn ball more because this kid is unguardable, and I agree with that completely. I love me Washington. Get him the damn ball. Good point, Corey. Najee is slower than a turtle at the top of a fence post. I like that. Turtle at the top of fence posts can't move. Yeah, Patterson looked amazing. Richard, how do you think that we can beat Dallas Cowboys next week? Well, Dallas Cowboys defense is dog shit. Our defense is much better, but played poorly this game. Are we at home next week? Yeah, we're home next week. And we're home. We're going to have Renegade playing. Last time I was there for the big game against Dallas, that was the one where they were driving. Well, actually, earlier on, we went for it on 4th down and failed it right when the first half began. Everybody came to the sideline. We're down by 10 points. Tomlin was cheering everybody up. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming back. And we did. Came back. Got to the end of the game. Romo threw a pick 6. And we won the game on Romo's pick 6 at the end. We came back. We scored a touchdown first with Ben. Romo threw a pick 6. We won the game. So, it can happen. I'm not afraid of the Dallas Cowboys. They're an up-and-down team. They're weird on the road. They're better at home. We'll have to see how it goes. But I like our chances in Pittsburgh with Renegade and our fans. It's obviously when they put in Patterson. Yeah, Patterson's running great. Or Warren. Unfortunately, Warren was hurt today. Corey, we got to take more shots to Darnell Washington. He cannot be guarded. I agree. Miles, I think we're going to regroup and F up the Cowboys next week. Me too. Jasper, defense let us down. TJ was non-existent. Well, they were doubling TJ. And Nate did get home on him. I want Roman Wilson to play. He's healthy. We need more receivers. I don't know why he wasn't on active. That aspect angers me and infuriates me, Miles. I will poke Jefferson in the eye just so Roman Wilson can play now. I absolutely will. Bum. Flacco, older than dirt. Richardson, only 22 years old. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. They made the plays. They did well. Ronnie, I still like our team this year. The way they are playing. I do too, Ronnie. I think they have a lot of things here to be excited about. Dominic! Haha, yeah. This one time I caught a dose of the herp from Guatemalan hooker. She took me to see her abuela, grandmother, who cured it by rubbing a toad on my junk. True story. More of that, Dominic. I love that. Mucho gusto, my friend. The fumble inside the red zone hurt. It killed us, Jason. Those kill you, especially when you're already down by 14 points. Absolutely murder you. We would have won the game with that. Was completely unprepared, not ready for Tomlin's mediocre BS. You say that. I did say that. I did. Robert, Stryker, how come other teams are under the NFLPA, 49ers, Cleveland, etc.? All these other teams who regularly have much better tackling than the Steelers. How come NFLPA thing you talk about relates to Steelers? Well, we're talking about two other teams that are not undefeated. And I saw some piss poor tackling in that San Francisco game that they pissed away. It happens. There's not a whole lot. Cleveland only has one damn win so far, for gosh sakes. If you want to throw that in my face before today. We'll see if they get the second one. Bobby, the defense did not deliver today, and I agree with that. We are a better team than people give us some time, Ronnie. I like the positivity. John, the rest were horrible on both sides. The D was MIA. O-line was embarrassing. We were almost forced to grab a Luck fan out of the stands to play running back. Turnovers killed us. We can't force Fields to win the game on his own. We had a chance, though. If not for that bad snap, we had a chance. Edwards, humbling loss. It is a humbling loss today. Very well stated, Jason. Thank you for the comment. Joseph, let's be right. Let's hope next game we get the W, because that is the way Steelers football we have to be, especially in the first half of the season. Can't compare past games to present games. You're right, Bum. You're right about that. Zeus! If Krusek wasn't the backup in the set, that Krusek was the guy I was trying to say. You're right. He went 6-0 and was the best rookie quarterback that we ever had in the NFL history about starting their career. He started 6-0 in 1976 until Ben Roethlisberger in 2004, I believe was the year he started 13-0. Injuries are no excuse. Yeah, especially when we force so many on the other side. I agree with that, though. I agree with that. We are in position to win that game, and we could have won it at the end. We didn't. Hi, Brian. Brian Brown. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Great to see you. What are you talking about? 49ers Browns are year out ranked around 1, 2 in defense. And Tomlin for 3 years has the highest paid defense in NFL history. In the last year, ranked number 21. Not in scoring defense. You're wrong on that. Scoring defense is the only one that matters in the NFL. When you have an offense that can't move a football, the defense is going to get the ball for a lot of yardage, and they did an awesome job of making sure our scoring defense was top 3 in those years when our offense couldn't move the effing football. It means we don't have time of possession. It means the other team has more chances to move football, more chances to score, and they still didn't score on that team. So get your facts straight. Robert, Facebook share. I can't click links. Rank, Fields had a good game. Who are the botch snaps on? They got to be on Zach or Fields. I don't know. I don't know how the communication works between center and quarterback. Are they both a part of it? Maybe. It's not on the coaching staff. That's not on the coaching staff, guys. Zach mostly because he's snapping the ball. Bum. Yeah, Tomlin's pro winning 9 games almost every year. Actually, it's 10. Dominic. Yeah, the one time I caught a dose of the herp from the Guatemala. She took me. All right, you put it back up. All right, ciao, Dad. You didn't think I was getting to it. I got to it. Ciao, Dad. They sucked, but today was a really good reality check early on in the season. Show we can stand with the teams. Yet Indy's not near elite. They're not. But we didn't fold and almost pulled it out. We did. A couple more correct plays, and we had that game. Michael Scott, join up! We're 3-1, still on top of the North. We'll bounce back. And I agree. Those teams are much better fundamental tackling. Steelers under some rules. Tell me why they are undefeated. Robert, tell me why they aren't undefeated with their excellent tackling. Please. Bum. Tomlin also owns some greatest collapses in NFL history. Greatest collapses. Maybe lost some teams you didn't expect them to lose to. Tell me the collapses. Be specific. Miles, we're going to go for far. We're still 3-1. There's still a lot of football play. Everybody is dramatic. It's not the end of the world. It's not. Richard, Fields is the best. I hope he is, Richard. Himzel, welcome to the show, Himzel. Wonder what Tomlin haters going to say now. Well, they're going to be all in Tomlin because we lost. That's what Tomlin haters do, Himzel. Timothy Weiss, got zero pressure on an ancient backup with no. We actually did. 2 plays in a row should have been called intentional grounding. 2 plays in a row. One they pulled and said he was outside the tackle box. He was not. He was on the tackle box. The second play, they didn't even throw a flag on, and he was well within the center. I don't know how that's not called intentional grounding. He immediately got tackled by by Hayward in 2 seconds. Threw the ball out of bounds, and it was not called intentional grounding. That was intentional grounding by definition to a T. Marcy, Tomlin wants to be in control of everything. You say that, but he lets his coordinators call their plays. Timothy, Tomlin wasn't in control of Flacco. Well, no, he wasn't out on the field tackling people. Ronnie, yes, Justin Fields is our quarterback 1. I like that you like Justin Fields, Ronnie. Bud, they were not going to undefeated anyway, but I know now it's lasted the way it did. Not look good. I think it's on the coach. He didn't have them ready, and Cam didn't look good either, and they ran right at him. I will say early on, running right at Cam, he wasn't there. I think Queen looked like crap, being our center linebacker on a lot of those plays, being nowhere near being able to make a play on anyone. And I'm still upset at Queen. I really am. But if you want to call tackling or the way that these guys are doing things on Tomlin, that's fine. It's on you. But Hayward got back there and wrapped Flacco, and Flacco threw it out of bounds, and it wasn't called intentional grounding. That was intentional grounding by rule every effing time. Travel Buddy! Welcome back to the show, Mr. Stryker. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you again. And you, my friend, Travel Buddy. Dan Russo, Tomlin made history. First NFL of giving up 30 points in 5 playoff games over a decade of this. And after all that time, same old, same old. When do you say it's enough? Well, we've got to start getting back in a situation where elite quarterbacks aren't the ones winning Super Bowls. Tamburro, mediocre Mike, 500 or above, meaningless regular season. Nothing happily takes some of these losing seasons if others go deep in the playoffs. Steelers haven't gone deep in the playoffs since 2 decades ago. Haven't gone deep in the playoffs since 2 decades ago. Well, okay. The way it goes on for decades, you're right. I'll give you that. 2010 was actually a decade ago because 10s were not the end of that decade, the beginning of the next one, right? Because it's 10 to 19. So it was 1 decade ago. And the 2020 team, we were around there. I wish someone would let Tomlin know who our quarterback 1 is. Thanks, Monkey. We'll figure it out. Steelers have not gone deep. Yeah, we talked about that. Travel Buddy, and what an awful decision it was for the call against Minka. Sometimes you need to ask yourself, we have so many cams, etc. refs. What are they doing? Horrible calls. In college, you could have thrown that flag. That was clearly not a targeting play or a helmet to helmet. It was shoulder to shoulder. By far. It sucks. We got killed on that. Marcy, hey, Dallas will kick Steelers by 20. I hope you're wrong, Marcy. Nah, Steelers lose 34-28. Still hoping you're wrong. So, bro, try buddy, 100% right about zebras are awful. But don't forget, they're awfully against the Steelers' opponents first half, too. Believe me, Seattle fans remind me of that every time, every effing day. Marcy says Tomlin needs to go, too. And I hear you, too. That's your perspective. Not going to fault it. Travel Buddy, true, but it shouldn't be that the refs are deciding games in the 21st century. Doesn't matter which team. They're keeping games close every week, Travel Buddy. Deborah, stop blaming Tomlin, y'all. Sound dumb. I'm with you. It was the -2 turnover ratio and a couple bad calls. Jasper, players' errors are on the players, but Rob blames Tomlin like Tomlin is playing. Hopefully next game they put in the work to be better prepared. True. I thought they had a chance to win there at the end, too. They did have the ball back with 3 minutes to go. Timeout. Chance to win it. Funny how you brag on Andy Reid. My 90-year-old grandmother could coach those players. You say that. I lived in Philadelphia for 13 years, and they couldn't wait to run that guy out of town on a rail. And I told him, I told all my friends that were Philly fans, it's like, you're dumb to get rid of Andy Reid. You're dumb to get rid of Andy Reid. He knows how to win. I was telling people when they kept firing Marty Schottenheimer, you're dumb to get rid of Marty Schottenheimer. The biggest instance of Marty Schottenheimer I will point to was when he was the San Diego Chargers coach. Ran him out on a rail, put in a new coach, not Schottenheimer, number one offense, number one defense in the league. Both missed the playoffs. Missed the playoffs. A team was the number one offense and the number one defense in the league. At least definitely in the AFC, and missed the playoffs. Think about that. They were last in the AFC on turnover ratio. Marty Ball didn't turn over the effing football. Tomorrow, Stryker, you're perhaps pending incorrect information because of those seasons that Tomlin had just as many losses than win. Wasn't in the running last week, not meaningfully. And we can disagree on that. That's fine. David, timeout after the bad snap, regroup. I wouldn't have been against that. I wouldn't have been against that, David, but I think they were holding that timeout for the field goal. Still had a full 40 seconds. They didn't have to rush. They still didn't have to rush, David. Miles, Brian Flores is such a good defensive coordinator. Look at the Vikings playing. It makes you wonder what we could have had with him. But I'm really happy that for them, Sam Darnold deserves it after what he's been through. And that's true too. Vikings are a good organization. And I'm glad both that defensive coordinator and Sam Darnold are there at the same time. Bobby Gant. So now there's going to be so much talk about Russell Wilson needing to start. We need to just keep Fields in and keep motivating the young guy. Give him more. Thoughts on Patrick Queen? I think he's been below the line, LJ. I'm disappointed in what I have in Patrick Queen with what he was showing in the preseason, with what he was showing in training camp. Right now, he's looking lost. And he's not making plays. And I'm disappointed about it. I really am. Dime from the site of 9. Good to see you back, Dime. F, nobody cares about a loss. It's about losing to ourselves. That's the issue. Yeah, we did. We were a big part of the reason why we lost. Mediocre Mike, multiple 500 seasons, no threat to go near ending playoffs. Sound like Steelers were legit last year instead of pathetic nail-biter face plant in playoffs. We were -2 in turnover ratio today. We were in the pluses the rest of this year, other than the -1 that we won against the Chargers. Scott, NFL football, we're 3-1, fought to the end, learned from it, move on. You're not giving up anything new, Robert. Jasper, Tomlin's last few playoff runs, Rob, he didn't have TJ or the starting quarterbacks, but the players being injured and Tomlin's fault, I guess. Well, TJ did get that touchdown for us early in that Kansas City game. We were just going up against the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. I mean, it's tough. You got to take your lumps. We are the 78 Houston Oilers with Campbell and that great rushing attack. We are the 74, 75, 78, 79 Raiders watching the Steelers win championships. It's tough. We have to find ways to beat these elite quarterbacks. Miles, nobody is talking about our behemoth of a tight end hurdling some. I loved seeing Washington hurdle that player and get 2 great receptions in this game and make big plays on both of them. Great call, Miles. Good to give him the kudos. Jas, want to talk about Thomas' playoff games last decade, all his decade, 3-8 wins against journeyman back quarterbacks, all followed by humility playing losses. I hear you. It sucks. Ray, middle of the D was lost and horrible. It was. The middle D sucked. Scott Punswick, welcome back, Scott. It's the NFL. It can happen any week. They fought hard till the end. That is what you take from this. Learn from it. Learn, get better. Simple as that. Exactly. And we're over the 5 o'clock mark. Miles, guys, you're forgetting that Justin has started every game with 0 TDs, 1 TD, 2 TDs, now 3. With this progression, week 17, we are going to get 17 TDs in a game. I like that. I like that, Miles. We did get 3 touchdowns today. Thank you. Travel Buddy, I like your thinking, Miles. That if that happens, I fly over and make a party with a free beer. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, you're still bashing on Tomlin, man. Jasper, the last deep playoff run is under 10 years ago. Starting to think are a Dallas fan in disguise, and you live in the past. We'll see, Jasper, but it sucks. Playoff losses suck, and that statistic is skewed because you only get one game in the playoffs if you lose. Norma, ability to come back from a difficult deficit. We did. We nearly came back today. Dime, I'm tired of Russell conversation. He can't do anything for us unless he comes in on 3rd and long. We'll see. Dime, Justin's getting okay. That's a duplicate. Definitely look much better in the second half, and I agree. Miles, Stryker, in our current form in the draft, which top 2 draft picks are you targeting? Well, I'll tell you one thing. The one thing I'm super excited about is getting our nickel cornerback halfway through the season when Sutton comes back. Sutton is going to be a piece that's going to make our secondary sick. Absolutely sick. Especially when we get Trice back from IR. We got all of our safeties. We got all of our corners playing at 100%. If Sutton's back in here with Elliott backing him up, we're going to start doing some sick things in the secondary second half of the season. So that's one thing I'm excited about. But a couple things that we do need: wide receiver. We don't have another wide receiver. Got to start drafting more wide receivers. That's big. Off of that, more offensive line depth. Tight ends are good. Might have to get another running back because Najee's up next year. He's a free agent. We have Warren still. Warren might be our starter next year. Patterson's locked in for 2 years. Running back is going to be another option. Defense, we look pretty good and pretty deep, and nobody's really leaving anytime soon. This is a window. We got like a 3-year window with this defense because all of them are on big contracts, especially our top guys. Hayward re-signed another contract. So we'll have to see how that works out on that side. But yeah, offensive side of the ball is what I'm looking at. Wide receiver is number 1. We need an X. We don't have an X. I don't know why we aren't bringing not Peyton, but the other Wilson in to at least play in these games because I know he can get open off of a break, and he's got great hands. I want to see him on the effing field, not these guys. So wide receiver, number 1. Number 2 is probably going to be more offensive line, and then going running back, and then depth all across the board because we need some depth across the board. Even an edge, depth of edge would be great. Especially when we're thinking about trading Highsmith. We'll talk about that later in the season. Travel Buddy, I think we should take a loss and see the bright side of that. Justin plays very well for who he was joining us. Right. For sure. It still needs some time, but if he develops like he did already, have our franchise quarterback for the future. I don't disagree with that, and I would like that. Chow. There are a lot of frustration on the field today from multiple players. If you want to judge Tomlin, watch this week to see if he can keep them focused and avoid them turning on each other. Tomlin's never lost the locker room. Not once. Not fucking once has Tomlin ever lost a locker room, guys. Get your heads out of your asses on that. Bobby, what's the reason why we can't get a running back Harris going? He really is a workhorse at the offensive line. I don't know. It's weird to me too, Bobby. Like Patterson looks awesome behind this line. Patterson was ripping off 8, 12-yarders before he got his concussion. And he's a big dude. I don't know why Harris isn't ripping off those kind of yardage too. I really don't. That's a great point. Thanks, Harris. All right, Robert. I lived in Dallas where Steelers gear 2 times Dallas bars amongst all Cowboys fans said, I hate Cowboys fans. Had dudes stand up and take their hats off when I said, who not from Dallas Day agreed. Jasper, Rob wants to trade a head coach. What team has ever done that? Trading Tomlin makes the Steelers worse. It does. I think one of the few trades with the Jets, I think they traded Parcells to New England. New England worked out. Timburo. Above story is not only true, but happened to be 2 different times, 2 different Dallas bars with a truck driver hat and the other in the actual cowboy hat. Like ride a horse. Fields grew up some. Yes, he did, Chip. Great point, Chip. Chip, defense stayed in hotel for the game. If they held some more of those touchdowns and field goals, we win it easily. And he helped both times when I came in the bar. Both first sip and the drink, I announced to everyone, I hate Dallas Cowboy fans. I had someone stand up, take off their hat, and think they wanted to fight. Lorian, welcome to the show. I feel like we have a good chemistry going amongst Fields and Austin. We aren't talking about Austin enough. Austin needs to get open more. Chip, he's just not a number 2. Yeah, we don't have a number 2. Tamburro, in both cases where I finished my sentence, it's not from Dallas because the local Dallas fans are like local Pittsburgh fans. I get when they bought me drinks instead of wanting to fight. Nice. Only telling you about this living in Dallas now. I roll because Jasper was trying to say I'm a Dallas fan, but I freaking lived there. Dude wears Steelers gear all the time. We know you're a Steelers fan. We definitely do, Robert. Dime, Tomlin is a fantastic coach, and his mentality, he is for a reason, has such a cohesive team. Have the narrative. And he's the reason why people want to come and play for Tomlin. This is the reason why we get top tier free agents at low value. Russell Wilson wanted to play with him. Fields wanted to play for Tomlin. Fields turned down trades so he could go and play with Tomlin. And this is why we have Fields now. So keep that in mind. This is part of why Tomlin is great. There's never been a person that's left Tomlin that says Tomlin's a bad coach. Not one. You know, you got some players that be like, I prefer the style of coaching over Tomlin, and I'm fine with that. Juju Smith-Schuster might like Reed better than Tomlin. AB might like Belichick better than Tomlin, but Belichick fired him before he could play for him. Belichick couldn't get AB to play for him. Tomlin did and got the best out of him. Elite all-pro numbers, Hall of Fame numbers out of AB. No other coach could do that. Arians didn't even want him. Brady had to talk Arians to hire the guy and helped him win a Super Bowl. But he wasn't there for half the season, was he? Jasper, Rob is a secret Dallas fan. Still be fooled. I like how you guys are pissing on each other. Ciao. That was my point, Stryker, but ran out of room. I hear you, Ciao. No, it's fine. Travel Buddy, lost for the individual mistakes, and that's something Mike can't change, but happens, and it's on the players. Like how the fumble from Pickens, our early throw from Frazier, except early snap from Frazier. Yeah, definitely Travel Buddy. They hurt. Jasper, Tomlin will get number 7 before his time is up in Pittsburgh. I agree with that completely, Jasper. If you let him here long enough, he will. Jonathan, welcome to the show. We need George Pickens to be more involved in the offense early in the games. I agree. I completely agree. Dime, AB, modern day Ocho Cinco. I don't know. I think we got more production out of AB than Cincinnati did get out of Ocho Cinco. I really do. I'm just going to bring up the scores here too quickly here because we're getting down to the bottom of the show. Travel Buddy, first part is missing the D. Yep. His first part is missing X. Yeah, no, I see that. Travel Buddy, there's something before it. I hear you. All right, guys. Jasper, I'm going to give you a call. Offensive line needs to work. Fields needs to be better protected. I hear you. Guys, follow me, SN Stryker, on the X, on the Tickety Talks, on the IGs, on the Grams. Follow Steeler Nation on the X /Steeler Nation, on Instagram and Facebook at Steeler Nation Com, both of those /Steeler Nation Com. I'm up Tuesdays, every Tuesday. Mark your freaking calendars. Set a freaking alarm. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. You get me again. And we can talk football again. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. Especially on YouTube. Now we're getting the X comments. I love this crap. I freaking love it because I love it. And we had my longest show ever last week. My longest show at that point was 1 hour and 20 minutes. Last week was 1 hour and 40 minutes. And it went quick, and we were talking about a lot of stuff. Thank you so much to Burrow and your crew, too, for all being involved. Love you guys. Absolutely love you guys. Right now, too, just getting to you quick. Cleveland Browns up 10-7 on Las Vegas. Close game. We're rooting for Vegas. If Vegas can win, we have an automatic 2-game lead on the rest of the division. Root for Vegas. Cincinnati already won. Doesn't matter. The 2-game lead. And then we have to root for Buffalo tonight to keep and maintain that 2-game lead. We'll see how it is tomorrow. Jasper, going back to you, my friend. We always finish on you guys. Offensive line needs work. Fields needs to be better protected. Indeed, a lot of injuries on that line. Everybody except the tackles. Dime, Oh, absolutely. I just meant regards to their mentality, both hell of a player and hell of a head case. I hear you. Dime, thanks for the show. Anytime, Dime. Thanks for you, too, for helping make this show great. You guys are what makes this show great, guys. We love you. I love you. Travel Buddy. It's not true. Not 8 p.m. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Tuesdays. Knock it off, Travel Buddy. Eastern time. Set your clocks. Set your clocks. Tomorrow, Stryker, no, 2010 was part of the 2010s. No, it's technically 2010. It's technically 2000 to 2009 is 10 years. Then it's 2010 to 2019 is 10 years. And then you get to 2020s to 2029. You're wrong. Look deep inside yourself because I know math and I know how years work. In decades. I wasn't sure since 2 decades ago, the Steelers weren't deep in the playoffs, period. And sorry that. We're just arguing decades. I mean, I'm just messing with you, man. You know I love you, Robert. Thanks for being on the show. I'll see you on Tuesday, my friend. Travel Buddy, you know how late that will be for me. Travel, are you still in Germany, Travel Buddy? Are you still in Germany? Travel Buddy, in Deutschland, ja? Es in Deutschland? Nein! Travel Buddy, nein! Love you, my friend. Yep, still didn't move over. Is that a 7-hour difference? Yeah, that's late. I just wake up in the middle of the night. We'll have some fun. Still awesome to have you on the show, man. It's been way too long. It's been way too long. Gestimmt. Bitte schön. Well, I can't say. You're not my Führer. That's the only other word I pretty much knew. 11:19 p.m. now. Oh, yeah. That's great. I'm still glad you were up for it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, 11:19 p.m. right now in Deutschland. Dankeschön, Travel Buddy, for being on the show. We love you. You know that. You know I'm half German. You know I love that stuff. Half German, half Irish. That's why you get all the German and Irish fun stuff on it. Dein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Ja, it's nicht so gut. No, you didn't even have to explain it. I know my German isn't the best. But I do know if I go to Germany, anytime, I'm getting 2 beers. 2 Bier, bitte schön. Ja, mit Bratwurst, mit Spatzen, bitte schön. Dankeschön. For you. Auf Wiedersehen. That is all the time I have on the Steeler Nation Strikers. Strikers Inside Slant for SteelerNation.com. Go over SteelerNation.com. Guys, join the football forum. It's so fun over there. We have lots of fun. There's lots of apparel over there. That is the place to be. Duffer's perfect. I can read German. I can sing your national anthem perfectly. But that is all the time we have on the show today. So until then, I will be rooting along with you as always, as well as Travel Buddy. If he's saying, go.